Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. Today we're going to measure your knitting so you can work out how long you've knitted and whether you need to knit any more before you do a particular thing in a pattern. Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. Okay, so you're reading a pattern and it says knit to 10 centimetres or knit to 14 centimetres or knit to 3 inches, and you say, well, how do I measure it? I don't know. Well, I've got the answers for you today, and I'm going to help you work out exactly which thing you need to use. Do you want a ruler or a measuring tape? How is it best to measure your knitting as well? I'm going to show you how you measure stocking stitch and garter stitch too, so that you've got the ideas for both and you're well aware of exactly which parts of the knitting you need to measure and which parts you don't. Right, let's get to it. Let's see that demo. First, let's talk about what you use when you're measuring. You can use a flat ruler, but this one in particular I would avoid using, simply because it's dirty and you don't want any dirt or pencil marks. You can see there's a little bit of line from a pen when I was using it, and you don't want that. There's definitely pen line along the bottom there. You do not want that rubbing off on your knitting, so set that aside unless you have a clean one, or go and wash it or get a new one. But these will be fine because it's actually really useful to have a flat edge rather than something that's like this. So if you want to get one of these that's just solely used for your knitting, then go for it, but definitely avoid using something that looks like that. So I use a measuring tape, and this is a measuring tape that's firm, it's plastic, it's a really thick plastic, and that means that it doesn't stretch and it hasn't frayed. I had a fabric one for a long time and eventually that frayed and the writing came off of it. It was just kind of peeling off the fabric, and it also stretched, so I wasn't really sure whether I was measuring properly or not. Something like this is going to last a long time and it will measure properly, so there's no hassle with that. Okay, so what we have here is a garter stitch and a stocking stitch. I'm going to measure the garter stitch first. You can use it like this. I prefer to use it and hold the knitting like this, and then you can see the measuring tool much more easily. Here I am putting the measuring tool underneath the stitches on the needle. So you could measure it like that, but then you'd be measuring the row that's still on the needle and that wouldn't work. So you need to put the top of the tape underneath the needle, and then you can see that is approximately 5.5 centimeters, which is about 2 1/8 inch. So if you're going to be measuring something much longer than this and it ends up being a bit like that, you have to say, oh, that's 12.5 centimeters. In that case, I better do another row. If you need to get to 12 or 13 centimeters on your needle and it's halfway between, say, you need to do more knitting. You can't just go, oh yeah, that's reached it. It is, hasn't it? You need to do it at its resting. So don't play with the knitting before you stretch it, before you measure it, just in hopes that you've almost got there. Another couple of rows isn't going to matter. So there you go. That is approximately 5.5 centimeters, and I've measured it from underneath there. So as far as this one goes, stocking stitch. Now this can happen if you're knitting a beanie, for example, and the base is supposed to roll up. But do you say, am I supposed to measure it with the base rolled up or not? When you read a pattern and it says measure it, it means measure it from the cast on to the needle. So measure it again like this, and again, do not stretch it, don't do anything like that, and that is 5 centimeters. If it was saying 4.5, I'd go, I have to knit another row or two, and then it will get to 5. So if you're at all worried and you think I haven't quite knitted enough, but maybe it will work, then I'd say go slightly over and slightly under the measurement. That's what usually works best. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. You can now measure your knitting and carry on with your pattern. Right, if that was helpful, give me a thumbs up. And I'd love it if you subscribe too. Hit the little button and click on the bell. If you click on the bell, YouTube will let you know by notifications when I release a new video. I give you a new video every Tuesday, every week, so you'll be one of the first to watch it, and you'll have all of these little knitting tips whenever you need them. Okay, I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Happy knitting.